Am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother meet my son after what he told me at my husband's funeral? My late husband passed away from a car accident when I was 4 months pregnant. It's been difficult without him, but my family did so much to support me. I moved in with them month after. At the funeral, my older brother asked for a minute to talk, then asked me if I really wanted to go through with my pregnancy. I was shocked when I heard this, but even more shocked when he suggested that I make the right decision, not an emotional decision, and reconsider having my son. He gave many reasons why, including the fact how single, widowed mom are considered too much of baggage for so many men to date. I lost it on him and kicked him out. That was the last time we saw each other. My son is now 3 weeks old. Whole family met him and were happy to welcome him. My parents asked if I could let my brother come meet my son even for few hours. I refused, but they said I was making a mistake robbing my son of a future loving relationship with his uncle. They asked that I don't let my emotions dictate a decision that might have a lasting impact, but I said no. My extended family got involved and started pushing, especially after my brother started insisting, saying my husband was a dear friend of his and what I'm doing right now would make my husband upset if he saw it. Am I being bitter and selfish? NTA. Every time he says how much of a dear friend he was, remind him of that talk from his dear friend's funeral. Hell, remind the whole damn family of it. Not the asshole. You don't have to allow anyone in your child's life that you don't want to. That includes family. Your brother said some pretty awful and tactless things while you were still at the funeral of the father of your child. I'm assuming he also hasn't bothered to apologize, but still feels he is entitled to have a relationship with your son and has no problem emotionally manipulating you in order to get what he wants? Yeah, no. You're not the asshole here. Tell your extended family that the discussion is closed and anyone who brings it up again will not be seeing your son for a long time. If and when you want your son to have a relationship with your brother, you will let him know. Not the asshole. He told you to get rid of your baby because he would be a burden and not a joy. He is not someone to let be around a new life. What a callous and awful thing to say. You are well within your rights to deny him. Has he acknowledged and apologized for his hurtful comments? Does your family know the reason you're refusing to see him? Not the asshole. Are your parents aware of the comforting words your brother imparted? How can grandparents be happy that one kid advocated for termination of the grandkid at the funeral? Not the asshole. Consider letting the family know what your reasons are. Am I the asshole for telling my date that he shouldn't call himself a Harvard alumnus? So I, 25F, matched with a guy who had Harvard alum in his bio. There aren't too many of those in my small Midwestern city, so I suggested that we grab some coffee. The date started off wonderfully. We had many shared interests and spent a good 30 minutes talking about them. I started talking about my amazing undergraduate experience at Harvard and asked him what he concentrated in. He gave me a blank stare. After a moment he said, "Oh, I finished a web dev certificate from the extension program." After some Googling, I discovered that anyone can finish the web dev certificate by paying a $6,000 fee and taking 3 online courses. I then asked him, "Why are you calling yourself a Harvard alumnus?" When people hear, Bobby went to Harvard, they assume that Bobby has an actual degree from Harvard, not some certificate that holds no real weight. Anyway, my date got up and left. But not before he said, "This is why most people can't stand people like you. I've gone over our conversation multiple times, yet I can't see where I said anything wrong." After a moment he said, "Oh, I finished a web dev certificate from the extension program." After some Googling, I discovered that anyone can finish the web dev certificate by paying a $6,000 fee and taking 3 online courses. I then asked him, "Babe, what? You seriously sat across from this person and Googled this shit while he was sitting across from you? Everyone sucks here, but frankly iconic on both sides. Love the lying. Love looking the guys lie up right in front of him. You two would be really fun to watch in a sitcom. I don't want to know either of you IRL. Edit because I didn't expect this to gain traction, but it did. Op is an asshole not for Googling it. Although you're on a date, so if you want to know more about the person's certificate program, just ask. But for belittling the guy's education. Less than. He shouldn't have lied, but telling him his certificate carries no real weight after a quick Google search is really mean. Less than. Telling him, "I'm not sure if that makes you an alum," and changing the subject is normal. Telling him that and leaving is fine. Telling him that his certificate is meaningless is deeply unkind. Less than. Not the asshole. He wasn't exactly lying, but he sure was exaggerating, and you just pointed it out. Like, I was injured in Navy boot camp and got medically discharged back when I was 18, and it would be like me calling myself a Navy vet, which I definitely do not do. Not the asshole. Something very similar happened to me. Guy said in his bio that he studied at Cambridge, in the UK. I studied there myself, so was trying to use that as a way to strike up a conversation, asked him in which college he studied, etc. He got very offended, saying he only mentioned Cambridge University as a joke, and he didn't want to date a pretentious snob like me. Okay, buddy, rolling on the floor laughing. Not the asshole. He clearly misrepresented himself in his bio with the intent to make himself look better and get more matches. You were misled by this into choosing to meet up with him. You might be a bit snobby for caring about it. And I see why you'd be bothered. Who knows what else in his bio wasn't fully accurate. You might have been a bit harsh in how you called him out, but he deserved to be called out for this type of behavior. Lying about a college degree, which is what this guy is doing, is extremely uncool. However, you lost me at the part where you started Googling his program while still on the date with him. Why did you feel it necessary to do that? Also, there is no snob on the planet like a Harvard snob, so you might want to tone that ish down a bit. That is what your date was referring to when he left, in case you are still wondering about it. Am I the asshole for pulling a prank on my racist sister-in-law, 17F? My sister-in-law is pretty hard to deal with. She had hang-ups with her brother marrying a brown Arab woman like me, 27F. She also insults my cooking and doesn't like anything I make and claims that it's all terrible from a terrible cuisine. That's why we don't invite her much. Anyway, my husband invited all his family tonight and I thought of pulling a prank on her. I cooked her one of our popular dishes back in SA. Utabak, and we lied about it being an Eastern European dish. She loved it. She was all, see? You all see how better the European cuisine is? You all see how it tastes better? You should make more of this and less of that garbage you make in your country. Then 20 minutes later, I told her the truth. First she thought it was a joke, but then realized that she fucked up and snapped at me for lying to her. Not honorable at all. It quickly turned from a joke into some kind of a fight with her. Dad-in-law, husband and all brothers-in-law all found no issue with it and even loved this prank. Mom-in-law though thought it was an asshole move from me to pull on a teenager and agreed with leaving early. Maybe I'm an asshole. I need a third opinion. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. What you did was exposed her shitty, racist behavior in a completely non-harmful way. She outed herself by behaving the way she did. And Mill using the "she's a teenager" defense is stupid. She's legally an adult in 1 year or less. She's not going to magically change on her 18th birthday. She needs to be called out on nonsense like this, or she will never change. Not the asshole. It was a perfect way to prove her discriminations. I'd circle back to hubby and get him to see that his little sister really has an issue, and while maybe his mom was being protective of her youngest, maybe only DGHTR, it could become a problem down the line. Maybe he should talk to his dad a bit and get a feel for what is going on behind their closed doors so you know what the issue is and ensure that it is only with an immature 17-year-old and not something she is picking up from her mom. Not the asshole. Not at all. She needed to know that great food comes from everywhere and her racist mind could not handle the truth. Not the asshole. It was a great prank. If she truly just didn't like the taste of your cuisine, rather than your race, skin color, she wouldn't be upset. Not the asshole. She deserved any humiliation she felt as a result of being purposefully ignorant. Not the asshole. You got her to admit she likes your cuisine and that's the sweetest revenge of all. Because it reveals the truth. She only expresses distaste for the food for racist reasons. People confronted in public about their hypocrisy will always try to make you think you're the bad guy. Don't fall for it. I bet your cooking is delicious. Have a lovely day. Would I be the asshole for kicking my sister out over deodorant? My 21 female sister, 25 female, has been staying with me for a while due to personal issues she's had. Which is okay, we get along decently, but the problem is that strong smells give me migraines. And migraines suck. Her deodorant is very sweet and very strong. The smell lingers around for hours after applying. When she moved in I mentioned it, like, hey by the way, remember that migraine thing? Strong smells trigger it. And after 2 migraines I asked if she could apply it on the balcony, or in the bathroom with the door closed, or even in her car, on her way out. She said she'd try to remember, she didn't. I gently reminded her once more after that. It's been 2 weeks since I've asked. I've been sick a lot. I've missed work, and I've just been feeling crappy. There are no issues besides this. Would I be the asshole if I told her to stay somewhere else over this? Edit. Since my sister uses deodorant in place of showers, I highly doubt she'd be okay with using an unscented one. She's also fully aware of how sick I'm getting, since we live together and she's home a lot. Not the asshole. It's not about the deodorant specifically, it's about the fact that she's making no effort to stop triggering your migraines when all it would take is a minimal amount of effort, inconvenience on her part. Not the asshole, and explain to her that it's not ideal that you're having to bring this up again, but you really do feel strongly that she needs to either change deodorants or she please follows your instructions, and that if she cannot do that it's a deal breaker and she'd need to find somewhere else to stay. Explain calmly it's affecting your health and you're not prepared for that to keep happening while you're helping her out. She's not helping you out. Not the asshole, I have the same condition. Go buy her a deodorant that you can tolerate. Tell her she can either wear this one or she can find a new place to live. If she can't respect your health, you need to care for yourself. YWNBTA. She's staying with you out of your kindness. She's repaying you by making you sick, causing you pain, making you miss work. You've asked her not to do one small thing and she won't comply. Give her an ultimatum. Get rid of the noxious deodorant or find another place to crash. Not the asshole. Be very frank. Hey, you. Unscented deodorant or you gotta go. You are quite literally making me sick. I love you, but I also love my healthy self. Then tell her to shower immediately and throw it out. If you wake up and smell it again, put her out, and feel fine about that. Everyone makes choices and she gets to choose the scent while you get to choose your health and peace. Hey sis? Your deodorant is giving me terrible migraines. If you want to live here you have to switch brands to something odorless or less strong. Sorry, but my house my rules, and this is giving me literal migraines, so your choice. Be polite, but be truthful. If you just do it without a talk first, then yeah, YWBTA.